Yay, are we here? Can you see me? Yay, we are here. Hi, everybody. Woo. Hello, hello, hello. Try not to cry, y'all. I've got two drums. I've got all kinds of magic tricks for you tonight. I have some gifts for you. I have the 4 best giveaways that I've had. I have a pretty incredible ritual planned for you. I love you too. We have a lot of reason to be happy because, you know, we were able to find a beautiful solution for those of you who wanted to stay in sabbatical. There is the 1 class a month shamanic journey, almost the same price point. So hopefully you've registered for 2019 programs. The Facebook groups are opening this week. I think we're opening the Soul Shift group tomorrow. So I wanted to check in. Do you have any questions that I can answer for you? Don't cry. As much as I'm sad because it's our last sabbatical class of 2018, I'm fucking as excited as hell. That is the absolute pure resonant truth. I have never been more on my path or more on my purpose or more excited as a teacher than I am today for where we're about to go in 2 weeks. And I know change is scary, and I know change is weird, and I know change is uncomfortable, but let me tell you something. This is the absolute truth. I could have just taught sabbatical the way it was, and holistic healer the way it was, and aromagic and gemwise, and I could have just done that. And at the end of next year, you would have had a good experience, I think, and you would have been like, oh, that was great, I'm glad I did it. At the end of next year, however, you would be nowhere near where you are going to be with this. So I know change is scary and it's uncomfortable, and I'm so glad that you were patient with me while I found a solution to help those of you who wanted sort of a smaller piece of the pie, right? So I'm really glad we were able to find that for you. What's coming is really incredible. And every time I push into it, like I was writing part of the curriculum today for our first 4 classes, like it was just kind of fleshing things out, putting meat on the bones, and it's just like how beautiful it is, and how it's like all these puzzle pieces that are like coming together. And that's what I want to remind you of tonight, is that change is really good when it's going to push you to the next level of your evolution and your development. And some of you would not have changed if I hadn't pushed you. Some of you were ready to change anyway. And for some of you, the program isn't right now. So, and that's okay too. There's no right, wrong. There's no judgment. But if you are feeling the call to soul shift, especially because you've been with me, so you kind of know what this is about, I would register now. The reason is you're not going to pay anything until January, and the Facebook group opens tomorrow. You're going to start getting your welcome email and your welcome video, and I don't want you to miss out on what we're doing. So if you are feeling the call to soul shift, Team SG will put the link up for you if you haven't registered already. Most of you have found your way to a new program. And again, if your path is taking you in a different direction, I also want to say how fucking awesome that is, because that's your truth. Do you know what I mean? Like, I absolutely bow in the face of people honoring their deepest truth, because I've had to do that, and I've had to do it over and over and over and over again. So I know what that's like to go, here's my truth. Ready, jump. But I am fearless in the call of my soul, in honoring the call of my soul. And it's really sweet because my ayahuasca journey was October 6th when I channeled this class. 2 months. And she talked to me every day until November 6th. She left me. Okay, which is about right. Ayahuasca stays with you for a month. And then about 3 days ago, she started talking to me again. I haven't worked with her medicine since October, okay? but she's been talking to me on Pandora. All of a sudden my channel switched over to the Icaros, which is a different channel, like switched over to it. It's amazing, all the signs, and like, it's almost this like heartbeat of like, stay here. Do you know what I mean? This is right where everything is supposed to be. So it's pretty amazing that even though I'm not working with her in a formal way right now, she's that whisper that I know so well that left me for a couple of weeks came back without the medicine. It's a pretty remarkable experience. So, well, here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to tell you, okay? And I'm telling you this because you're sabbatical. You are big girls with big girl panties. Are you ready for like truth bomb medicine? I don't say this outside of sabbatical because honestly, I'm a little more forthright with you guys in terms of like, no, you need to know, right? Like, you guys are held to a higher standard. You should never, ever, ever, ever in your life say that you can't afford something. And I don't care whether it's soul shift or a new pair of shoes or the house that you want or whatever. If I have taught you anything, it is that you create your reality with your words. The minute you say, I can't afford this, is the minute you can't afford it. And you will manifest exactly that. Please honor my teachings in your life by not cursing yourself. What it is okay to say is, you can say, I can't afford this right now. I still don't think that's great, but at least you're saying right now. You can also say, this may not be right for me at this time, but I'm holding space for doors of awareness and possibility to open. Or this will come to me in perfect time, or this will arrive when the timing is right. But when you outright say you can't afford something, energetically, you slam doors shut. You should never say, I can't have that, I can't afford that, that won't work for me, that's not mine to have. Like, truly, when I see that, I kind of cringe a little bit, and not because you can't afford it, but because I feel like I haven't taught, okay? So please, 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 like, I'm only saying this to you in sabbatical because I feel like I can, because I'm always, the fullest transparency of my life is right here. You are blessing yourself or cursing yourself with every word you speak. If you followed me around in my day-to-day life, and there are things I can't afford, but I would like. I would love to have my healing center in Hawaii right now. It's not within my means at this time, but it is coming to me in perfect time. And when it is right for me to have it, the means to acquire it will be within my reach. If I were to run around saying, I can't afford that, do you know what would happen? It doesn't matter that the truth is that I can't afford it, but you're never going to hear those words leave my lips. So please reinforce the learning, okay? The second thing I would say is, if you don't choose soul shift, let it be for your soul's reasons. The minute you say yes, the whole universe is going to conspire to support you and provide for you to do it. And it does it in magical ways, but you have to like, it's like the fall, the trust fall, where you have to like surrender sometimes. But I will tell you something, this is a university for your spirit. So just like you go and take a college class, just like you go and take something for your professional development, this is your soul's development. And you are worthy of the investment. So whether it's right for you right now, only you know that, but don't curse yourself with every word that you speak, right? It's just, don't do that. I cringe. And then I go, did I not teach that? Maybe I didn't teach that. I start second guessing my teaching when I see people posting stuff, because it's like the SMH, right? Gonna get an amen. Dot gave me an amen. It's really true. You should never, ever, ever say, I can't afford that. You can afford anything you want to afford. It may not be in alignment with you right now. It may not be immediately in your consciousness. And I'm not talking about soul shift. I'm talking about everything in your life. Woo! If I played that game, I wouldn't be sitting here with you, because I would have said, I can't afford to start a business. I had no money when we started Sage Goddess. If I would have said, I can't afford to start a business, I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now. I just said, well, Spirit, if you want me to do this, you're going to make it possible. And if not, then you won't. That's a different medicine. So you are looking at a Siberian shaman drum. It's about 200 years old. And this was a gift from one of my customers. It's so old that it doesn't have its resonance. I have to tighten it and condition it. But this is the first time I have played it. And so, Guardians of the Eastern Gateway, tonight, this is a new day. This is the end of one journey and the beginning of another. And I've got my closest community with me tonight. And I am diving right in. The Guardians of the East show us the pathway, the passageway, breath of life, the breath of courage, the spirit of authenticity. Breathe through us and take us to a new elevation. Help us ride on the wing of eagle. Fearless medicine as it takes us ever higher toward a vision of what is possible beyond what exists today. If all we believed was what we could see, no one would ever create anything new. We thank you for the visionary spirits, the plant teachers who teach us how to rise above our circumstances and scale those walls. And Guardians of the Eastern Gateway, thank you for attending us, for being present to us, inviting spirits of the past, spirits of the present, spirits of the future to be in our presence tonight. You're welcome here. And Guardians of the Southern Gateway, element of fire, transformation, transmutation, alchemy, the co-creation of life. You burn through, you burn clean, you leave nothing in your path, in your wake. You teach us to let shit go. Throw that offering in the fire. Fire creates no waste. Fire is the cleanest of the elements. It teaches us to be in clean relationship, to bravely speak our truth to each other, not to exist in a realm of doubt, confusion. Element of fire. Guardians of the Southern Gateway, you're welcome here tonight. Thank you for attending us in our last ceremony of 2018. Give us the courage and the strength and the bravery we need to step boldly forward in honoring the medicine of our spirit, our path. And Guardians of the Western Gateway, the waterways, the motherways, amniotic fluid, the womb of all life, Freya herself is Guardian of the Western Gateway. Freya, we approach you this evening with reverence. The highest hand of female power in the Norse shamanic pantheon, shapeshifter, and the bird medicine you bring reminds us of our own ability to fly freely, to embody the divine flow, brings our spirit into deeper alignment. You are welcome in our space this evening, and Guardians of the West. And Guardians of the North, season of winter and rest is coming upon us as we retreat. We reconnect. We find that inner sanctuary, that place of inner stillness. Silence the outer chatter. Noise creates confusion, activates ego. And Guardians of the North, teach us to listen for the inner voice, the place within us that looks within. She who knows, she who watches, she who becomes, she who has always been. gatekeeper's stillness. In the north, a slow-moving creature is an elk who teaches through graceful, slow movement. The one need not move quickly through life. One should move slowly, purposefully. Embrace the path of the elder, the wisdom path. Embody the wisdom that you have learned. Don't forget where you've come from. Don't forget what you've learned. In the face of change, in the face of stress, in the face of sadness, in the face of grief, you rise. As a priestess, you put on the mantle of responsibility. You are held to a higher standard, but you are bathed in a different light. The guardians of the Northern Gateway, be with us as we rise. We stand up in the medicine. We learn how to hold the space. We learn how to embody what we've learned. It's not just a teaching. It's not just a learning. It's a becoming. It's a standing within. It's a test. Can we bring it through the medicine? We welcome you into the circle this evening. And guardian spirits of the upper world, angelic beings, librarians of the cosmic library, gatekeepers to the Akash, all that was, all that is, all that shall ever be. Plant teachers who help us access these astral dimensions. Crystals of the higher realms, moldavite, tektite, and guardians, gatekeepers of the upper world. Help us to learn your ways as well. Grant us safe passage through the soul star chakra to the multidimensional gateways, the star systems, the oldest parts of our souls, the ancient knowing, the place where who we were, who we are, who we will become are reflected back to us in cosmic holograms. We welcome you into this ceremony tonight. And guardians of the middle world, the borderlands, the in-between places, the not quite here, not quite there, the not human, the not spirit, the parts of you that are wild, the priestess in you who lives between those worlds. She's part here, she's part there, she's nowhere, she's everywhere. And guardians of the middle path, teach us how to walk that middle road with grace. It's so hard to be in 3D and 5D and 9D all at once. Hold us with compassion in our circle this evening. We are the first to cross this threshold before the program next year. Tonight is the initiation. Tonight is the graduation from where you have been to where you are going. Some will continue and some will not. Bless the comings, bless the goings. You are welcome here in the ceremony tonight, guardians of the middle path. Guardians of the lower world, stone people, bone people, ancestral lineage medicine, guidance from our own bones, past life wisdom. Show us where we've been so that we can understand where we're going. Integrate the wisdom for us on our behalf this evening, Freya. And guardians of the lower world, teach us not to be afraid of the deepest places inside of us, the shadow, the dark river, the anger, the frustration, the resentment, the hostility. It's fuel for our development. Teach us how to take our humanity and transform it into spirituality. Teach us how to compost the parts of ourselves that feel ugly, undesirable, turn them into pure beauty, resonant light. Help these souls in this space confront their own truth. Be gentle with them as you show them what is true, what is accurate, what is right. As you show us what is uncomfortable to see, you teach us how to receive what is, how to prepare for what can be. A pathway to integration. You're welcome here in the ceremony this evening. Guardians and gatekeepers, the above and the below, the 7 sacred cardinal directions and elements, all 3 worlds that we traverse and live between. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your presence. We thank you for your wisdom. We thank you for your strength. You are here. We are here. Amen. Aho. And so it is. Oof. Well, let's try fire another way. So you are the recipients of my first 7-directional invocation. I saved that for you tonight. That's how it will be every session next year in Soul Shift. But I wanted you to experience it tonight with me first. Because tonight's the gateway. Tonight is the gateway between what was and what shall be. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for letting me begin with you. It's a deep bow to you. It's a deep bow to you. Deep bow to you tonight. With a lot of gratitude. Well, that was trance. I didn't write any of that. I didn't prepare any of that. I just knew I was going to be doing it. And so you got to witness trance. I don't do a lot of trance work, and so you got to experience that. And trance work requires vulnerability. Trance work requires trust. And so I have to say thank you because you held the container for that. That's how powerful you are, is you held a container for me to be able to go into trance. So thank you. And thank you to my client who sent me that drum. I don't know where she got it. I don't know how she got it. But to have an authentic Siberian shaman drum is pretty powerful. Ailey's like, I want more. Me too, girl. I'll tell you something. Once you learn how to work in trance, you'll never, it's like nothing else compares to it, not even ayahuasca, because personal trance, once you're able to cultivate that without plant medicine, which is ultimately the goal, you should be able to do trance work sitting at your desk. And that's ultimately the state I'm trying to get you to. I think it's beautiful that we have plant medicine to help us, but you shouldn't need it. You should be able to get into trance through drum and even through simple meditation. You guys, if you surrendered to it, went into a trance with me just now. Like, how beautiful is that? So I want you to have that experience. It's pretty incredible, isn't it? So thank you for holding the space for me to do that. Because that was rad. Woo! Woo! Lisa got out there and danced. And you know what? You should. You should get out there and dance and call in the guardians and speak to the gateways and shapeshift into some cosmic Venus magic. You just shake it. We are going to trance dance next year in Soul Shift. I'm going to pan out with the camera and dance, and you're going to dance right along with me. Aho to that. Okay. Tonight, I have big magic for you. I gotta come a little bit back in my body so I can hold the space. So, I'm sure you've seen, I haven't taken off my amber necklace. I think one day this month I took mine off. So I hope you've been wearing your amber necklace with me. I have another one as a giveaway tonight for anybody who really wanted to have an amber necklace to connect us, but couldn't purchase the set. So I do have an extra one to give tonight. I also have 3 copies of James Hood's Mesmerica CD. The show that I went to here in LA, it isn't anywhere else in the world. It doesn't exist outside of California. And so he gave me extra CDs to share with you. So I have these as giveaways. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it was on my personal page. I went this weekend, and he created this transcendental light show. He was the drummer for the Pretenders in the 80s, if you know the Pretenders. So anyway, I have these to give away to you, gifts from James Hood. And then I have the most incredible Phantom Smoky Citrine sphere. This is a $500 sphere because it's a smoky citrine with a full ring, a full phantom ring. That's the last giveaway for tonight's last session. So I have gifts. Listen, we don't end Sabbatical on a boring ass note. We go out with trance and presence. Because holy shit. And then we're going to work with Freya for a little while. I know, right? I know. I get to do what I love in the world. And there isn't, even on my hardest day, and I'll tell you, the launch of Soul Shift and the sadness of Sabbatical were 2 of the hardest days of my entire time as Sage Goddess. I've been doing this for 7.5 years. I melted a little bit into the sadness of that. We've all risen above it, but it was very difficult. Even on the saddest of days, do you know how blessed I feel? To be able to do this? Be able to do what I love with the people I love in a way that I love. Like, what the fuck? Who gets to do that? So even on the saddest of days, and I broke a little bit, I still tried to rise with a certain amount of grace and show up for you in a way that I could. But even in those moments, I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's how life should be. Even on the days where you're like, holy shit, you should still look up and go, but thank you for that. Thanks, you guys. Here, you know what? There are 1,000 places in your life where you can go and learn from people who will put on a mask for you. Everybody in your life puts on a mask for you. I'm not going to put on a mask. I'm going to say, wow, that was hard, or ooh, I didn't like that, or ew, I didn't feel good, because I'm not going to put on a mask. So if you're down with that, then we're going to have a really good time together. I don't know. The one thing I always appreciated, I grew up, maybe where this comes from, is I grew up in an environment where, both in my family and with people around me, where people were one way in private and they were another way in public. My mom was hard on me in private, but then in public, she was much more kind and generous. And so I grew up thinking, one day I want my kids to know one me. That the same person they see at home whatever that person is, I'm going to cry, is going to be the same person they see with their friends. It's going to be the same person they see at the grocery store. It's going to be the same person, because I didn't have that. I grew up thinking I didn't really know anybody. Because if your mom is that way and your dad is that way, even my dad had a mask, then who's really true? You know? So I've always lived my life that way. The person that you see here, I go home, I'm the same person with my kids. Sometimes I say fuck too much, and then I have to say, God, you guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, don't say that word. But I don't put on a mask. When I go to the grocery store and check out, I'm always like, hey, check you out with your earrings, goddess girl. Kind of look at you. I'm not a different person. And so if you're looking for that, there are plenty of places you can go. It's not going to be what you sign up for with me. I can't do it. It's part of my soul contract to be who I am, whether people like it or not. And not everybody likes it, but aho to that. Okay, so this necklace, the reason, and thank you for seeing me there. I feel bad that some of you know what I'm talking about, but the world is full of people who put on a show. I don't want to add to that. I don't want that. Let me tell you why I gave you this necklace. Do you know why? Amber is Freya's protection. I identify with Freya, and so part of the reason why I gave you Freya, right? Cindy says the same thing. I'm one there's only one me. I'm the same at work, home, love, life, etc., except for all my holograms. That's right. My soul, my higher self, by the way, is way smarter, and she's not as funny, but she's way smarter. So I will say I do aspire to be more like her. She's smarter, she can handle more, but she's not as funny. She's more serious. I've met her. So I'm always like, I want to be like you, except you need to lighten up. You take things too seriously. Anyway, Teresa Price didn't get one. Did you get a kit without a necklace? Tell me you didn't get a kit without a necklace. If you didn't get the kit, that's okay, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay. This is Freya's protection. This is why I gave this to you. Okay. So in case you didn't get a kit, that's why I have one of these to give away tonight. I specifically pulled one out to give away tonight to somebody who didn't get a kit so that you're like in on it, okay? I identify with Freya because she's a warrior goddess. Athena is a warrior goddess, right? Wisdom, war. But here's where Freya is better than Athena, okay? Freya not only is a warrior and wisdom goddess, she's aligned to the Western direction in the Norse wheel, in the Norse medicine wheel, okay? So let me walk you through. I want to talk to you about, it was supposed to be in your kit, okay? So if you got a kit without your amber necklace, Team SG, I want to make sure you're hearing this, just to make sure that anybody who didn't get a kit, who got a kit but without a necklace, should have gotten a necklace. If you didn't get a kit, that's a whole other matter. I don't have extra necklaces, but if you got a kit without a necklace, you should have gotten it. Okay, cool. Okay, so, but I'm not doing the giveaway yet. We have ritual to do first, then we'll talk giveaways at the end of class. So come back, focus, be with me now, okay? And the necklaces are all different. So you shouldn't be looking, yours shouldn't be exactly like mine. It won't be. Amber is very unique. It's fossilized resin, so some are teardrop shaped, and some are squares, and some are rectangles, and some are circles, and some are like, they're all different. Okay, but come back. I want to teach you about Freya. I want to make the argument to you tonight. Are you ready? This is my own personal research and my own personal perspective. I want to make the argument for you tonight that Freya was a shaman. In fact, I really think that the Norse pantheon is a shamanic pantheon with its roots in Siberian magic. So if you can go with me for a minute, I have a few points to prove to you that Freya was a shaman. Are you ready to hear my case I'm going to make for that? Okay. And this is a lot of what Soul Shift is about. I'm gonna disrupt what you think about shamanism. I'm gonna put a little tiny bomb in it and blow it up, because people think shamanism is this or that, or it has to be here, or it has to be from there. Shamanism is as big and expansive as the universe itself. It began in Siberia with the Wu shaman, right? I've taught you about that. But it expanded quickly from there to Tibet, then through China, and then all the way through Russia. I mean, Russian shamanism today is completely Siberian in nature. honoring bird medicine and trance dance and all the things. I mean, Russian shamanism today is one of the most powerful branches of shamanic practice, and yet, do you ever hear about it? It's very quiet. It's very secretive, right? Here's my case for why Freya was a shaman. Freya governed what's called Vanaheim. So go with me for a second. Vanaheim. And that was her realm. Vanaheim was where Freya lived. It's where she governed and where she ruled. In Vanaheim, which is the western quadrant of the Norse medicine wheel, okay, the nature deities of earth and sea are honored. And so she governs both the earth element and the water element. So all the creatures of the land and all the creatures of the sea are guarded by Freya. Now, Vanaheim in Norse cosmology is part of the middle world. It's not the upper world or the lower world. They see that cosmology in triplicate, which is the sort of the footprint of shamanism, right? If there's an upper world, a middle world, and a lower world, you kind of know you're working in a shamanic cosmology. But the Norse cosmology breaks the middle world, much like Lakota cosmology, into the 4 directions, and Vanaheim is the western direction. Now, what makes a shaman? Okay. What makes a shaman? If you really think about it, what is a shaman? When I say Soul Shift is a course in shamanism, where does your mind go? Let me define shamanism for you really quickly. First of all, shamanism is someone who experiences non-ordinary reality, and someone who has to balance the non-ordinary with the ordinary reality and literally live between 2 worlds. Okay? Freya was a shaman in the sense that she inhabited multiple worlds at once. So Freya was given free passage to move from Vanaheim in the middle world to the upper world and the lower world through Yggdrasil, right, the world tree. She was able to traverse the worlds, and she had easy passage. She was able to be one who lived in all of the worlds simultaneously, right? So Candace Deanda's got the perfect definition, right? A medicine person that can transcend, that can move between dimensions, that isn't bound to one dimension, space, time, etc., right? Medicine man, medicine woman, okay? Here's another definition of shamanism. Someone who, by their very nature, is unconventional. Now, I've been described as unconventional all my life. Quirky, eccentric, unconventional. Do you know that those are the exact words used to describe a shaman in other languages around the world? Someone who doesn't fit the mold. I should have brown hair, but it's purple. I should wear shoes, but I refuse. That rhymed, actually. I shouldn't be able to read people's minds, but I can. I shouldn't be able to remove entities from spaces, but I can, right? I shouldn't be able to see all aspects of a person's perspective, including past, present, future, but I can. So a shaman is, and that's why I'm telling you guys, like, it's really interesting to me, even if you don't conceive of yourself as a shaman, once I give you the definition, and I'm giving you world definitions tonight, but those in particular that apply to Norse cosmology, you are unconventional, you don't always live in this world, okay? You are able to shapeshift, meaning you're able to change form. Do you ever feel like you shift? Sometimes I feel like I go from standing to down on all fours and running like Jaguar, a little bit, right? Sometimes I feel like I go from standing to flying, and all of a sudden I'm crow and I'm out and I'm over the water. Does that ever happen to you? Okay. Now, one thing I want to tell you is Freya was always represented with either a crown of feathers or a cloak of feathers. Do you know what Siberian shaman used to wear? Was a cloak of feathers. They either wore a cloak of feathers or they wore a cloak of fabric strips that represented feathers, because they believed that through trance, particularly trance dance, they could fly. And of course, using plants and everything else, they were able to fly, right? Yeah, so Cindy Conti, losing time is trance equals shamanism. A shaman knows how to slow time down and speed time up. And sometimes you're not even aware you're doing it. And so all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, how did it go from being 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock? But then another day you're like, it looks like it's 1 o'clock and then 1:05 and then 1:06 and then 1:10. It's like it's so slow. It's like molasses, right? The shaman learns to manipulate those skills at will, okay? So she wears the bird cloak. And so here's a question for you. This is a question before we begin our ritual. Freya wore feathers. The Siberian shaman wore feathers. What marking do you wear that says to everyone else and to you that you can no longer hide who you are? Let me ask you that again. Are you listening? What marking do you wear that says to you and to everyone else that you are no longer able to hide who you are? And not just no longer able, but no longer willing to hide who you are. And I mean no longer willing to hide it from yourself, from me, from people, from teachers, from family, from everybody gets the whole truth. What marking? Is it a feather? Is it an amulet? Is it, right? Is it tattoos? Is it your hair? How have you come out of the closet? This is one of the marks of the shaman. One of my teachers has an incredible tattoo that she designed, and I asked her about it. Isn't it interesting? Look at the feed, right? It's fascinating, isn't it? Nose ring, tattoos, purple hair. I know something about that. Your jewelry tells a lot, right? Okay. So I asked my teacher about her tattoo. This was a long time ago. And she said, well, I could tell you a big long story about it, the design, why I did it, what it means. And she said, but honestly, what it is I knew as soon as I tattooed myself this way that I would never be able to hide as a medicine person ever again. Tonight is the last sabbatical session of 2018, and I want to challenge you not to hide from anybody. How would you live your life, okay, differently today if you had nothing to hide from anybody? Big universal light cast on everything. No stories, no inconsistencies, no misalignment, no masks. What would that require? Right? Yeah, Candace, if you wrote that poem and you're willing to share it, like that would be huge medicine for us if you're willing. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'd really love to read it. What if? Right? And I'm not saying to go get tattooed, although if you want to, do it. And don't be surprised if I come back in January with a tattoo. Well, and Colin, isn't that wisdom, right? Because Colin says she's easing into it right now. She's in a law firm, right? So holy shit. But here's the thing. The difference between last year and this year is profound. And I think that's ultimately how you have to assess your progress. You can't assess your progress compared to me or to each other or to Freya or to anything. You have to assess your progress compared to last year. Compared to last year, are you in a better, more aligned and enlightened and authentic place than you are, than you were then? If you are in a better place today, that's progress, and you have to celebrate that all day long without comparing. It's really, really important. That's right. So that's your homework. The biggest sorrow, and this is the last thing I'll say. Well, actually, let me finish. But I wanted to say this. The biggest sorrow for human beings, if you really want to see what makes a human being sad, is when the reality of who they are and their ability to share that reality are like this. Because all human beings want to do is find a way to integrate. Like they're hungry for it. They know. And they can feel like the magnetic pull, like, I'm so close. Like I'm almost there, but then they get pushed again. The greatest sadness a human being can experience, and it can't be medicated away. It can't be talked away. It can't even be loved away, is when there's a distance between who they know themselves to be and who they feel like they have to show themselves to be. And so I want to really invite you, because if you've been saying like, what is actually going to make me happy? What's actually going to bring me peace? It's the final closure of that gap. And I don't know what that looks like for you, but find it. I'll help you. Okay. Other things that tell us that Freya is a shaman. She performs hum-skipti, which is shape-shifting, so from one form, one creature to another. She wears the cloak of falcon feathers, true to her Siberian shamanic roots. She transports herself magically through an alternate means. So for her, it's this magic ship that she rides on the seas, and she transports herself from one dimension to another. Think of the chariot in the tarot, right? It's like, or the Merkaba, right, where you step in and you just instantly can be wherever you want to be. The boat is her form of magical transport. Seder, which I taught you about last month, right, in the full moon, is Freya's magic, right? There's a different visage, a different face of Freya here. More of an Athena face, I would say, right? The wise goddess as opposed to the warrior goddess. Although I would say that's still a face of the warrior, and your candle tonight is warrior. Okay. And then, so here's what I want you to think about. Tonight's ritual, we're going to walk the Norse medicine wheel, north, south, east, west, with Freya. And that's going to complete our circle of work together this year in Sabbatical. And one of the things I want you to think about is, what does it mean to be a warrior goddess? And this is something I've had to answer for myself, because I've had to live my life as a warrior goddess, right? I mean, I've had to, I'm named after one. It's not anything easy or particularly fun to be named after. A warrior goddess doesn't fight. A warrior goddess believes that if she has to fight, she has failed. A true soldier believes that if they actually engage in direct combat, they have failed. Because a true warrior is a strategist. A true warrior wants the right outcome for the highest good and seeks only battle when there are no other options. So if you see a true warrior on the battlefield, that is the saddest warrior you will ever find, because a true warrior wanted everything but that. A true warrior is a strategist, right? It's really, really true. And so that's part of what I want you to remember, especially if you're going on a different path this year and not continuing with me. I hope one of the things you remember from me and from my teachings is that I taught you that the height of warrior energy is the opposite of battle. That it's really about finding the path of least resistance that will serve the greatest good. A warrior can always fight, but that's not the highest calling, right? And so we certainly have invited all the guardians of the 4 sacred gateways in. I don't feel the need to call them again, but you are here. You are here. You are here. And so let's light our warrior candle together. Give me fire, Freya. Team SG, I think I might need fire. Oh, there we go. Never mind. I've got fire. Okay. It's pretty bad when the sage goddess can't light a candle. That's right. A warrior never wants to fight. Thank you. It's okay. It's all right. I got it. I'm all lit. Yeah, thank you.
I think we're kind of like in a time.
I know. I know. It's honestly, it's the funniest irony of like my entire day. We have lit our warrior candle together. As I light this candle, I invoke Freya, goddess of love and war, whose wisdom and gifts were sought by Odin himself. I slip into my power as I summon the warrior within with boundless love and fierce strength. I revel in the blessings Freya bestows upon me. And those blessings, again, are strategy, protection, and a deep, deep, deep blanket of inner knowing, because she is the outlaw. She is the unconventional one. She is the one who blurs the boundaries. And so, aho to Freya. Amen, aho, and so it is. Okay. And then we have, where's my perfume? Here it is. Okay, you have your Freya perfume. I hope you loved Freya perfume. It's one of my favorites too. It's amber, geranium, and lily attar from India. And that lily attar we imported just for this blend. And so it's this really deep, thick, resinous lily. Very different from anything I've ever smelled before. I think this is one of the most unique sabbatical perfumes of the year. And the Freya, the warrior candle is poured with it too. So I hope you loved it. And I'm going to take a little bit, I'm going to take my pendant and touch it into the oil as well. Amber loves to be fed essential oil. It's like it charges it up. And I'm actually going to do something right now. I'm going to take this one off. This is the one I'm going to give away. I'm going to gift the one that I have worn for the last 6 weeks. And I'm going to put on a new one tonight. That feels emotional. I'm going to put on a new one tonight. So whoever wins the necklace is going to win my piece. I have slept in it. I have journeyed in it. I have meditated. I have held my children to my heart. I've made love in it. And now it's covered in Freya's magic. Woo! It's hard to even describe the energy of this piece right now. That's good medicine. Woo! I can feel the absence of it. It really sat with me. I can feel the absence of it. Yeah, it's pretty special. Okay. All right. And so no, it needs to be given. I don't hesitate at all, but I can feel the absence of it. It was holding a lot. So that piece is going to get you through the challenges of your life with beauty. It really is. Whoever gets that's good medicine. Okay. Whew. So we're going to begin tonight. I want you to imagine your whole body becoming the Yggdrasil, becoming the tree of wisdom, the tree of the world that Odin himself hanged from for 9 days while he channeled the runes. Imagine your arms are the big branches of Yggdrasil and your fingers become sort of the smaller branches, and your nails become the leaves of that world tree. And then your torso and your chest and your waist become the center of the trunk of that tree, and your hips anchor into the earth, and your legs and your toes and your bones become the roots that stretch and grow. Just let yourself become the tree for a minute. It's another really powerful way to go into trance and meditate and let your body shapeshift from human to a member of the natural world, a different form. What would it feel like to become a branch of a tree and really stretch and grow? And so I want you to stretch into those upper branches first as you become Yggdrasil. And Freya, through these upper branches, I want you to teach us this evening. We invite you into our space to be present with us, to step into this space and be in deeper divine relationship with us. We seek your presence. We invite you graciously to join us. And through your love aspect, through your love archetype, through your ability to be fully compassionate and present and divine and beautiful and graceful and eloquent and easy and open and visual and visible, teach us how to move in the world in love. Teach these beautiful souls who are at the heart of everything that I do what it means to really stretch those branches out and be love. Receive love, express love, embrace love, share love, embody love, grow love, expand love, allow love, teach love, meet what is not love with love, respond with love, represent love, fertilize love, gestate love, nurture love. And then through our fingers and our wrists and our arms and our elbows and our biceps and our shoulders and our shoulder blades, through the tops of our head, down the back of our neck to the mouth of God, over our pineal gland, third eye, our throat chakra, our heart chakra. Open every cell in our body to receive love. Allow love to come into our body systems and heal the muscles, heal the veins and the arteries to improve circulation, to let love flow. Strengthen our hair and our skin and our nails. And then Freya, as we move into the 4 quadrants in the middle world, and we move first to that western quadrant, your quadrant, the water quadrant. Teach us how to feel deeply, how to express our feelings, how to encounter and acknowledge our feelings, even the ugly ones, the ones that we want to repress and deny and hide. Starting in the west, because it's your quadrant, Freya, the waterways into the heart space. And then in the southern quadrant, teach us how to stoke the fires. Teach us how to cultivate our passions, our beauty, our strength, our courage, our fierceness. Teach us how not to be afraid. And then the eastern quadrant, teach us to move freely. Teach us to let everything flow through in our life. Teach us how not to hold on. Teach us how to release attachment. Teach us how to fly like birds above and beyond and through our circumstances, not bound by conventions or time or space. And then in the north, teach us to follow wisdom as our guiding light. Teach us to embody wisdom. As you show us new things, don't just show us. Integrate it into our hard drives so that we can show up in the world mindful of what we've learned, able to use that wisdom to fuel our own development, to heal the planet, to accelerate the ascension process for all beings. And then into the lower world, Freya. Into the deepness, the darkness, the uninhabited places, as well as the sparkling crystal kingdom. Love to sirens. Staying here, staying present. As you take us into the lower world, Freya, Teach us how to become whole. Teach us how to take what is from the lower and from what is from the upper and integrate it in the center. Teach us to take our love and our hatred and fuse them into a balanced perspective. Teach us how to take our curiosity and our stubbornness and integrate them into a deeper layer and level of learning. Teach us how to take our hope and our faith and our cynicism and our deep doubt and unite them into one common form of action and confidence. Thank you for walking the medicine wheel with us tonight, Freya. We thank you for the branches and the leaves. We thank you for the trunk and the strength, and we thank you for the roots and the lineage, the darkness that can become light through transformation. Amen, aho, and so it is. And so, Freya, we ask that you bless these talismans, and take your other crystals too if you would like. We ask that you bless these talismans with both your love and your wrath, the light and the shadow, the beauty and the challenge, the tenderness and the strength, as we are both and all at once. We're so grateful for your divine model of how to be in a space of integration in service of our greater healing and healing of the planet. And together we say, for one last time this year, Amen, aho, and so it is. Aho, and so it is. 7 years of sabbatical, my friends. Woo, in its current form. Seven years. Tonight's been hybrid. What was this year and what will be next year. To give you a taste, Soul Shift is one level down from where we've been this year. I took you about a quarter, half level down. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm glad you enjoyed the shift tonight. It's already happening. That already happened. We're already there. It's just we're having to catch up because 3D isn't there yet. But 5D, we are so already there. I'm like, already there. Freya, our final guardian in the world of magic this year. It's fitting that you should be. You may be the most powerful goddess in the history of deities. Perhaps misunderstood, perhaps misrepresented, but I think once we locate your lineage in an accurate way, as a shaman, as a shapeshifter, as a healer of healers, then we find you in a good and a true and an authentic way. So thank you, Freya, for letting us find you tonight. And thank you also for finding us. We are grateful. Amen, aho, and so it is. Wasn't she a good guide for this last part? It's like, woo! Aho, Sabrina says, end of 3 years. Isn't that beautiful? Is anybody new tonight? I don't think so. But is anybody new to Sabbatical tonight? I would just be curious. Can you imagine starting tonight? Holy shit. Holy shift. I don't even know. Whew. It's all I can do not to cry. Tonight's a powerful night. I knew it would be. I mean, you don't have a space like ours and come to the conclusion of a year and not have a night like that. Ooh. 4 years for Barbara. 2 years for Lisa. Isn't that beautiful? So beautiful. Yeah. Jared's been here 6 years. Yeah, it's so beautiful. I know, right? And then for Candace, it's her second class. Except Candace, can I just say that I feel like you've been here forever? Is that weird? I really don't feel like you just started. It's a soul thing. And Colin's like, forever. It's weird, Candace. It doesn't really feel like that, does it? I know, it's really true. Tori Lyle's second class. Like, how? Tori Lyle? Doesn't feel like that, does it? Like, not for me, it doesn't. Some of you, it's so funny because you and Mara's first, except, again, it doesn't feel like it could be your first, Mara. Corey Robinson, second class. It's kind of fun because I don't think you feel new for long. At least that's the intention, that you're like second class, and yet, I mean, Megan Long, come on. Seriously. Mary, psychic soulmate? How can it be your third class? Like, I don't know. Anyway, very cool. So cool. I know, but seriously, Megan Long, like, what the actual? How is it just? Rosemary Castillo, how's it your second? Because we're not in linear time. Is how. Jess Sousa, come on now. Seriously, right? I know. Michelle Matthias, get out of town. And Carol Batista, you are my soul wife. Carol Batista, you are my hottest wife. Oh, it's really true. Thank God for soul wives. I've married a few of you a couple of times over. Dave doesn't mind. He's like, thank God you've got soul wives because I can't be responsible for all of your emotional needs. I'm not kidding. If I could, I would have a husband and about like 14 wives. I would treat my wives really good. I think that's the key to being married for a long time. I don't expect Dave to meet all my emotional needs. If he can, that's great, but I don't expect it. So the pressure is completely off. I want him to show up as my partner. The rest of it's a party bonus. I'm just saying, look, we could have a wedding and everything. I'll buy you a really pretty ring. Anyway, woo, it's getting hot in here. Okay. So I want to get in line, Cindy Conti. I'd marry you too. I'm going to do the Sphere giveaway and the CD giveaway in the sabbatical group tomorrow, just because it's 6:20 and Team SG needs to go home. By the way, I don't know, I just want to show you. I'm not trying to tempt you to shop, but did you see these in the shop today? They're almost gone, and I just want to make sure you saw it. These were hand-carved for us in Mexico by my obsidian vendor, the same person who does my palm stones and all of that. Did you see the Flower of Life? I've never had a hand-carved obsidian Flower of Life before. I think there's like 24 of them left. So anyway, I know. Aren't they beautiful? So, and they're open on the back. It's a holy shit piece. I would take it off the chain if I were you and put it on leather cord. That's what I'm going to do with mine. But I just want to make sure you saw it because things get buried. If you have the link, Team SGN, you can pop it up. The code is 17magic to say take your 17% off, and you get a free keychain and everything today, so it's kind of a good day. There's no kit to buy today because the mace is not ready yet, so you have nothing else to buy. Yeah, Cynthia got the necklace. It's an unbelievable necklace. I mean, I don't say that very often about jewelry, but it's a holy shit piece. Okay, but I do need to give this piece away tonight. Pamela Glosser. I saw that. That was cute. Who's feeling called to this? Because I want to give it away now. It's literally close to my heart. It's been on my boobs for a while. But I only want to choose you if you're like, yeah, that piece has definitely got my name on it. So could you please tell me if you're feeling called, and I will choose a winner right now. It's Freya's protection, but it's my heart. And you can't blame me if it smells like patchouli, because the cord smells like me. So, and it probably will never come off. So, yeah, Cindy's like, I love you, Booby Amber. It's really true. Okay, give me a minute. I need to really check in and listen to Spirit. And look at Nancy Sue. She's like, I love it, but I know it's for somebody else. Isn't that interesting? I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening. It's true. Okay, I think I know. I think I know where this is going. When I do things, sometimes for people, I don't always say that I do them because I don't like to get credit for things. I'm kind of shy. And I especially don't want people sometimes to say, oh, she just did that, so somebody would like her or something like that. That's my biggest fear. So I don't talk a lot about when I do things for people. Oh, I'm going to cry. Hold on, let me get tissue. Okay, I don't have tissue, but we'll figure this out. After my ayahuasca journey, when I was still in that really deep medicine, Mama Aya told me to reach out to Sylvia, who's my jewelry designer. Thank you, Claire. Thank you. To reach out to Sylvia, my jewelry designer, because she had made something for someone, and they were, I was to go and purchase it for them. And so Louise, I never told you this, but it was me who went to Sylvia and sent you that necklace based on ayahuasca guidance. It was the only time I had ever reached out to Sylvia in that way. And I'm only telling you now because this is I'm only telling you now because she really wanted you to know how truly important you are to her. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is in your lineage. I don't know why I was asked to take care of you that day in that way. It was really beautiful because Sylvia honored it, and I told her she couldn't tell you. And anyway, I'm telling you that because she started talking to me again, Mama Aya, a couple days ago, and she told me that I was going to caretake you again. And so this is for you. And I don't know why. I hope you don't mind. Normally, if I knew I was going to do this, I would have reached out to you, Louise, and said, hey, I guess I feel like I can. I'm sorry if this is weird for anybody, but I'm here for you, and I feel like a steward of your magic. Maybe we signed a soul contract together that said that I was going to look out for you somehow. I don't know, but I really do love you. And that love transcends whether you're my student or not my student or whatever. Mama Aya specifically told me to take care of you. And so if there's a time in your life where you need something and you don't know where to turn, I want you to know that I will be here for you, as I made a commitment to her that day. And I lived it first through the medicine that you've had for a couple of months from Sylvia. And now I'm living it through in this amber that I've carried with such love for the last 6 weeks. So aho to you, Louise. And thank you everybody else for bearing really beautiful witness to something that's really special. Because again, I would have kind of kept that in my vault. I really would have. I didn't tell you tonight for any other reason than just she told me I was going to take care of you one more time, Louise, and so here I am. Mwah. And so if you want to send a little love or Reiki or added magics to Louise's amber, thank you for letting me hold that space. That's big magic. It really, really is. He got the booby amber. Sorry if that's awkward for you, Louise. Louise can hold it. He's settled in his masculine and he's feminine. He's all good. So I'm glad that was good medicine for those of you who got to witness that too. Woo. The vibe tonight, man. I like to ride energy like this all day long. This is what makes being an energy jockey really fun. All right. So, I'm glad you guys enjoyed being witness to that. That was very, very special. He's got a heart full of love for me. And you know what? That doesn't even matter because he is seen by her. Mama Aya didn't name too many people, but she sure did name him. So you're in the presence of a very important brother and soul partner in this work. So, aho. All right, you guys. Thank you. Before we leave, I'm going to close the container one more time. Whoop. A complete seal of the sabbatical container for 2018. Great Spirit, as we seal this container, I want to ask that the residual energy blesses every single person in this container, those who are watching now and those who will watch later. Bless them with prosperity on every level. Bless them with joy beyond what they've ever experienced. Bless them with health and abundance, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Bless them with peace and deep comfort in their bodies, a relief from physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual pain. Bless their steps, their next steps, whatever path they take. Help them to manifest everything they seek in perfect time and in divine alignment with their reason for incarnating in this lifetime. And most of all, bless them with the gift of friendship and community. Help them to always remember that they are not alone. And then not only are they seen by us, but they're seen by you. And together we say, Amen, Aho, and so it is. Om Shanti on your path, sweet ones. Cheers to the next step. The Soul Shift Facebook group opens tomorrow. I'll be online to tell you all about it and to announce the grand opening. I've been doing ceremony and clearing today, so the next step begins tomorrow, as it would have to be. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. I'll see you soon. I love you.